Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to the channel for some more F1 Manager 22, and we are back with HAAS. We are ready to do round 19, the Circuit of the Americas in Texas, just in time for the real Circuit of the Americas. Second practice is about to get underway, I think, in about 20 minutes. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how our race weekend, plays out, and then we'll see what happens in reality over the weekend, and then we can compare the two on Monday when we're back with Williams. Let's have a quick overview. It's been a little while since we were back with HAAS last time. Third in the Constructors, fifth and seventh in the Drivers. Oscar's been having a great season. Mick has kind of come good towards the end of the season, but he is still out of contract at the end of the year, and we are trying to get him to stay. He's still a bit grumpy with us and still doesn't want to try and renegotiate. So we'll have to see how he feels after the race. How you doing, Cobra? Mr. Water, Anthony, good to see you all. Right, let's take a look. Do we have any points or anything to spend? Not with our drivers. Not with our engineering staff and technical staff. Our pit crew up to 50. Oh, that's poor. 51. That's really bad. We've got a terrible pit crew, it would seem. I mean, there's no key stat there that's particularly good. I mean, that's the best, and even that at 58 is pretty terrible. So, yeah, it's not a good pit crew at all. Where are we with the car? Let's have a look at car development. We can only do 2 projects at a time at the moment. Let's see what we've got. A rear wing research project and an underfloor research project under completion, or underway. Let's have a look at our facilities. We are upgrading the design center. That will be ready by the end of the year, which will be in time for next season. They need that option for the third part. The team hub and the car part test centre are both going through. What's our funds looking like? Pretty low, less than $1 million. This is the final upgrade for the team hub. Our race simulator is already there. Let's check our operational facilities. The helipad's maxed out, which is good. We can get the most money possible from the sponsors. The tour centre's also maxed out, so we'll get good maximum weekly income from that as well. Not going to bother with anything else there. Just double checking with the board. I mean, they should be happy with us. Financials, still disappointed after that big expenditure on new engine components back in July. But as you can see, they're very happy with the race results. Delighted across the board from every race going all the way back to Montreal, and we can't see before that. So we have high confidence. Season objective 6th or above. We are currently in 3rd. Long-term objective was podium contender. Score 25%, or score podiums in 25% of this season's races. We have already passed our long-term objective. So we'll get a really nice bonus at the end of the season for achieving that. And we may potentially get a very different objective next season. Let's see. We are literally about to start, so let's go into our performance targets. It's been a little while, so I'm going to actually have a quick look at the car, check our car performance, see where we are. So this is the car 1. We've got very good speed, very good height, corner speed. Low speed isn't so good. Medium speed isn't great either. Who are the teams that we're fighting with? We're kind of fighting with Mercedes in terms of the constructors. We have more speed than them in straight lines and high speed, but they are way better than us in the low and medium speed, and that is a good chunk of this circuit. So we could struggle against Mercedes this weekend. Let's take a look at some of the other teams. Alpine. Got a lot of pace on Alpine in a straight line. Comparable in the low and medium speed corners, but better than them in the high speeds. better in the DRS, dirty air, fairly comparable. So it looks like we'll be scrapping with them this weekend. Alpha Tauri have got a pretty fast car in a straight line, pretty good in the slow stuff, getting not so good in the high speed stuff. Alfa Romeo, their pace is not quite where it was at the start of the season. They're a little bit more of an all-round car by the look of it, given those rankings. Obviously Aston's still way down, and there's no point looking at Williams. I think McLaren are going to be pretty poor as well. Yep. So it looks as though we're going to be scrapping with Mercedes and Alpine in terms of results. Probably have a better chance against Alpine than we do against Mercedes, simply because of the layout of this particular circuit. So the sections by speed, as you can see, we've got a little bit of high-speed performance that we can exploit in the first sector, which ends with that medium-speed right-hander going into a quick left-hander, and then it's all pretty poor from there for us, really. We've got a big low-speed corner hairpin at the lead into the DRS straight, then low speed, a little bit of high speed, more low speed, a little bit of high speed to end the lap, and then the end and the start of the lap again. Big low speed corners where we are going to struggle. So I think we'll be able to get in the top 10 in terms of quali. In terms of race results, I think we might struggle to get to the podium. Because, I mean, the car itself is decent, but when you compare driver ratings and driver abilities, Piastri's got raw pace but isn't good on tyres, and this circuit is brutal on tyres. Schumacher is decent on tyres but doesn't have the pace. We're not going to get fastest lap. I'm not even going to try on that. So I think in a straight fight with Alpine, we've got a chance. In a straight fight against Mercedes, I think we don't really have a chance. So let's get into setting up practice. If I have the right strategy, I could get a podium.
Welcome to the United States Grand
No,
Prix.
probably not.
We're in Austin, but there are no wild cowboys on the track this weekend, just some serious horsepower. It's sure to be a race to remember. The Circuit of the Americas has it all. Twists and turns, steep climbs, fast corners, and a power-hungry Sector 2. Quite a headache to balance, even if teams will be looking at maximising downforce overall. This is it. We're down to the last few races of the season, and it's time for that final push. Who will be crowned champion at the end of it all? We'll find out soon enough. Let the weekend begin!
Yeah, I think if we've got any chance of a podium, it's going to come through safety cars. Like I said, I don't think we've got enough pace to challenge, certainly not challenge the Ferraris and Red Bulls. They're going to be too far ahead of us on this circuit. And given how much low speed is on this circuit, we could struggle against the Mercedes as well. So we're going to be scrapping with the Alpines, maybe the Mercedes. We're looking at 6th, 5th, 6th and below. More likely 7th, 8th. Mick, I think, might just about squeak into the top 10. Oscar's going to have more pace than him, that's for sure. Because this circuit is so hard on soft tyres, we are going to run more soft tyres than usual in practice and save that extra set of hards for the race weekend. We'll lose a little bit of pace compared to mediums, but we will gain more durability. So that might give us a bit more flexibility with strategy. Let's put some starting values in. Need quite a bit of downforce because it is a very twisty-turny circuit in places, but we can't go over the board because it is a very fast circuit in places as well. That long DRS straight and the main straight, the start-finish straight, very important. So let's go with that for car 1. We are going to put Logan in the car. This is his home Grand Prix. It would be a crime if we didn't put him in the car. We'll go with an 18 lap run. nail down the pace. Let's check our car parts, see how we're looking actually on engine components. We've got plenty of strong engines left. We've got this one, which is a 56. We've just taken out an 86. That's pretty strong. And we've got a 94, almost a brand new engine as well. So we've got plenty of engine power available for the last 4 races of the season, this one included. Plenty of ERS power left as well. We'll stick with that unit. What about gearboxes? And we're fine on gearboxes as well. So in terms of car parts, looking very strong at this end of the season. We are going to see some penalties popping up in the next few races, including this one, I think, for the AI, just simply because they're getting to the end of their power unit allocation, etc. Let's check the car parts on Oscar's car. I think we've got a little less on this one. So we've got a 75 engine in at the moment, an 88. Okay, we're going to switch to this engine for practice. ERS module, we'll stay with that one, and then we've got this one for racing. And gearbox, we've actually got a couple of gearboxes, so we'll stick with the one we've got in. I could do with a new engine, but I don't really want to take a penalty. We'll see how we do in quali, and then I might make a decision to put a new engine in, just to give us a fighting chance in the final couple of races. Just the one race tonight. As we've been doing with HAAS all season, we're just going to do single race, full speed, normal speed viewing. No speeding up once we get into the race itself. And let's ride on board with Logan for a lap as he takes to his home circuit. And there we go. There's a complete lap with Logan behind the wheel. So we'll go into speeding up time a little bit. Let's tell them to avoid the curbs as well. Protect the components in the car. There we go. Let's have a look at what the chat's been saying while I've been prepping a new drink. How you doing, Farah? Good to see you in here. We aren't going to top last night, but let's hope for another very exciting stream. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get a win tonight. Last night was fantastic. If you haven't already seen it, we got our first win with Williams last night.
Yeah, copy.
A great race. The win did not look on at all about 10 laps into the race, but we pulled it off. And it was a brilliant comeback from Gasly through the field. And Porsche as well. Porsche did very well to fight back through to 5th. Cobra is watching me and free practice too.
Who's running wide there?
You can keep me updated if anything exciting happens then, because I can't pull up what's going on in FP2 while I'm reading the comments. It's either keep the chat open or close the chat, ignore you guys, and have the comments on my have the sport on my phone. I choose you guys. Ben's Carnage has never watched a YouTube stream, only on Twitch. Well, I hope you enjoy the experience. Anthony Snickens starting a Mercedes season alongside his Aston. Yeah, it's not a bad shout. If you're going for the Platinum, you'll get it quicker with Mercedes than you will with Aston Martin, that's for sure. And let's hope that I get paid for the great entertainment. Well, you know, that's kind of you to say, but as you know, I don't monetize my content. I like to keep it free for people. I don't put adverts on my streams. I don't put adverts on my videos, you know, to try and monetize them. I leave everything free. If any adverts do sneak on, that's YouTube sneaking them on, not me. But I do have a PayPal link on my channel page, so if you do fancy buying me a beer or something, then by all means you're more than welcome to do so. And it would be very appreciated if you did. In Platinum news, actually, I have been working on platinuming the PS4 version of the game, as you know. I wanted to see if I could get it all done in one season. I can't quite. I had to start a second season. I decided to go with Ferrari. I got everything except for the last couple of trophies done. So for season 1, I got all the trophies done except for getting my pit crew up to 100 in any one stat. And there was one other one. I'm trying to remember which one that was. I think the design center, I didn't quite get that upgraded in time. I had to wait till that kicked over into season 2 in the pre-season. So it was then just a case of hiring the extra engineers and adding them to a new project. Piastri is not happy with the car at all. We've got a feedback score of just 37. Oh, that's terrible. Still waiting for some feedback from Logan. Oh, and there it is. Oh, and he's very happy. 95%. Okay, so a big difference between the two car setups there. In fact, did I even set up Piastri's car? I'm starting to think I didn't actually set Piastri's car up at all. I think I might have forgotten to do that. I think I did. That might be why it's so terrible. Whoops. Okay, we'll make a minor tweak just there. See if we can pull that in slightly. We might just have broken the oversteer a little bit there, but we'll give that a go. I'll see if that works out. 17 lap run plan, because that's all the tyres can manage. And let's call Piastri in. Oh, he is already coming in. Okay. Is there going to be a new game for next year? I hope for a my team like F122. I personally hope that they don't release one every single year. I hope that there's at least a 2-year cycle for each game. Once you go to a yearly franchise, you do really run the risk of just churning out an almost identical game with barely any differences. And yeah, look, we did forget to set his car up. Ah, dear. But I mean, you look at FIFA every year; it's pretty much the same game every single year. There's barely any changes, and it just puts it into a rut. F1 games for a while were pretty much the same game every year as well. Which is why I generally didn't buy them every year. I bought them every 2 or 3 years just so I could have a different experience, rather than just the same game but with a slightly different coat of paint and drivers in different teams. So I really hope that if they are going to do a sequel to this, which I'm pretty sure they will do, that they have a good couple of years of life in this game before the next one comes out, so that, you know, they can work on refining the experience and not rush out the second one too soon. There's definitely things that need to be improved going forward with the game. That much we do know. And if they just rush out the next one, then, you know, it's not great if they're just going to kind of throw all that through really quickly. Let's see, I'm trying to find something that looks pretty good. Let's pull that in a bit. I'm going to leave the roll bar there. We'll go with that. We'll try that. There we go, 17 laps. $14.99. It's not the biggest gamble. I've watched several vid reviews. Looks like it's meant to be a lot of fun. I'm guessing that's the PC price, not the console price. F1 2022 is the worst for ages. They need to rewrite rather than cut and paste. Well, it's not quite a cut and paste of last season, of last year's game, because there are two separate. Each game takes 2 years to develop. So you have one team working on F1 2022. And when they finish that, they all start working on F1 24. The team that worked on F1 21 is the team that's working on F1 23 right now. So it's not quite a straight cut and paste, but that's why there's no Breaking Point this year, because it's the team that did F1 21 with Breaking Point in it that's working on that, and they'll be bringing it back in next year. Oh, you're still talking about Gas Station Simulator. Every night I see, have you played Gas Station Simulator yet? Popping up in the chat, so yeah, okay. Alright, there we go. Car reconfigured. Let's send them out. And wait for some feedback. We should get Logan's in first. Mr. Water says, "Stinky dreaming there, JB. Football Manager is a yearly franchise, and I can see it being a yearly franchise as well." Yeah, I think it will inevitably become a yearly franchise. I just hope that it doesn't start straight away as a yearly franchise. I hope that they give this one room to grow before they immediately start working on the sequel and the next iteration.
It's yellow hat.
I know that they are working on another patch at the moment. They are planning on making an announcement Monday-ish, I think, as to what's going to be in that patch and when it's going to drop. I think Monday, maybe a couple of days after Monday, but they are working on another patch for the game at the moment. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to be tweaked and improved upon this time round. No, they don't have two developers. They have two teams within the studio. So the team that wrote F1 2021 is the team that's working on F1 23. The team that wrote F1 2020 is the team that wrote F1 2022. It's the team itself is split up into two groups, and each group works on one game over a 2-year cycle. So while they will have access to the same code, it's not necessarily a straight copy-paste job. But the problem is, when you do have a game that's churned out on a yearly basis like that, there is no real time to sit down and make the big improvements that need to be made. So that's why I really hope that this game doesn't start going down that road. You know, I mean, if they do end up going down that road, then that's fair enough, but give it time. Give this game time to really mature into something really special. Because it's good now, but it needs more work, and I'd hate for this to be as good as it gets and it plateaus from here on, which there's a real risk of it doing if it immediately goes straight to a yearly franchise. Is that going to work? I think I might need to change the roll bar, and then I can change that. Then I can push the front wing up a little bit there. I can play about more with this. Yeah, I'm still off now on the traction. Damn it. Alright, I'm going to have to try that. See if I can maybe squeeze in between those areas there. Front wing needs to change a little bit. I don't want to break the rear wing. Let me just try that, just see how that works. What we don't want is another Madden, your favourite sport, ruined by EA. Haven't bought one since 2017. Well, yeah, that's Madden, FIFA. It's exactly the same. I mean, I used to play the FIFA games when I was younger, and then in the early to mid 2000s, PES came along and was phenomenal. I mean, it had no real licenses. All the names were complete rubbish, all bonkers. I remember the world famous Brazilian left back Roberto Larcos being one highlighted example of that. But yeah, I mean, PES was phenomenal. I mean, it was, in terms of its gameplay, it blew FIFA out the water, and FIFA was just rubbish for years. And then FIFA started getting good again around 09, 10. I think 09 was the first really good FIFA in a long time, and yeah, the franchise got really good again, and PES kind of went away a bit, and FIFA rested on its laurels and then just copy-pasted the game, and the last really good FIFA I think was 2013, 2014, and it's been rubbish since then. So yeah, you know, every sports franchise that goes onto a yearly cycle and inevitably ends up just churning out the same game with a slightly fancier coat of paint. It's a shame, but especially as games take longer and longer to develop, you know, these days as well. Right, what do we need to do to improve Oscar's car? We need to change the rear wing. Let's see. Let's go with the 13 rear wing. Let's move the camber to there to get optimal on traction and improve the cornering. Little changes to the braking and the oversteer. That could be it. Increase the run lap to 18 laps. Drop the pace down. There we go. And into FP2.
Ready to check.
What do I want to do? Oh, yes, there we go. Avoid the curbs. I mean, I enjoyed PES so much that I went so far as to on PES 2008. I had a memory card where it was dedicated purely for that game, because I went into the the editing thing and I changed a lot of player names. I changed team names. I went in and tried to create custom kits that was close to the real thing as possible. I used the rather limited tools to try and make logo sponsors for the shirts as close as I could. I did the same with kit badges. I tried to make them as close to the real thing as possible. I mean, I spent days. I remember I was sick with swine flu, or suspected swine flu.
Oh, we've had a
so I was, off work for about 4 or 5 days, and I just spent those 4 or 5 days just customizing everything in PES, getting all the Premier League teams looking
like
as close to the genuine articles as physically possible. I'm talking obsessively close to kit badge designs and everything. It was a real labour of love. I kind of wish I still had that so I could get some screenshots off it, but unfortunately long gone.
I think that was a crash.
How's the balance?
Oh, there we go. Look at that. We've gone straight to 96% with Oscar's car. Big improvement. And 99 on Schumacher's car, so that's almost there. Just need to tweak one little thing. It'll probably be the toe. Now we need to let these drivers gain some track knowledge. Mick in particular is going to need to run long as much as possible.
VSC ending.
Cut entry.
Copy.
Right, so what's the 1% we need to find? It is the toe. There we go. Job done. I'm going to go with another set of softs, and I'm going to put the run plan for 17 laps because that's the minimum, well, the most I can put on. But we're going to have 24 minutes left to run, so you'll probably get all 17 laps in, and time for no more. I do need a little tweak here. Ooh, how can I tweak this? I'll try going to an 8.5. Ooh, itchy beard. There we go. If I try going to an 8.5 on the front wing, push that back that way, and then tweak the toe to there. That could be it. Again, fresh set of softs. 17 laps. Get those cars turned around as quick as we can. With our pit crew being so poor, these turnaround times do take a little while longer than other teams, unfortunately. Get a little bit of separation between our drivers, getting held because someone else is going out. There we go. Now I'll send that Oscar.
Sounds like we've had a spin.
So we're going to have to make sure that we run Mick for as long as we possibly can on those mediums in the next session. Get him to really improve his track knowledge. Oscar can probably make just one decent-sized run of about 20-22 laps, and that would probably be all he'll need. Might not even need that much, assuming we get his setup nailed. Alright, there we go. End of the session. We didn't get feedback yet. Might sneak in before we get back to the garage. Nope. Okay, so let's have a look at the penalty situation. Perez, Zhou, Valtteri, Gasly. So just the 4 of them taking penalties this race by the look of it.
Thank you for joining us here today. Once practice is over, qualifying will be underway, and then the fight for pole begins. Each team will be looking to build on the progress they made during yesterday's practice sessions. When it comes to preparation, absolutely nothing should be left to chance. Everything has to be just right. Of course, by the time the cars hit the track, well, there are some things in Formula One that no one can prepare for. Strap yourselves in. This is Formula One.
Okay, so I didn't actually check the weather last time out. We can see we've got clear weather all the way through the weekend. It's going to be cloudy but dry, so we haven't got to worry about wet weather. Not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. Probably a good thing. I think given the inexperience of our drivers, a drier track is going to be better for them. Let's see, did we get enough feedback? The one thing we wanted feedback on is the one thing we don't actually get the feedback on. Okay. But that was pretty much the only way it could go, so I'm fairly confident that we've got that nailed. We're going to go... Actually, how long can these tyres last? 26 laps, apparently. We're going to try and squeeze more out of them than that. We're going to go 30 laps for Mick. Drop the pace down. Oscar. I'll put him on for 20 laps. That'll cover enough of the window. And again, I think we've nailed his car at 100%. The only thing we haven't got is the straights, but I don't think there was enough movement on that to change it from optimal to something else. So pretty confident we've got his car at 100 as well. So let's send the boys out and get FP3 done.
Ready to check.
So I send out Oscar first because he's got the lighter car, so he's going to be a lot faster. Don't want him getting held up by Schumacher. He's going to be at least a second slower, I would imagine. And as always, we will tell them to avoid the curbs to protect the gearbox, ERS and power units. Right, just got to wait for that last little bit of feedback to tell me 100%. Boom, there we go. And 100% there as well, fantastic. So we can just let them run. We don't have to worry about tweaking the car. As soon as they finish their stints, we can call them in, put a fresh set of tyres on, give them a bit more fuel and send them straight back out again if we need to. So there's a good chance that we might be able to get Schumacher up to 100% track knowledge this weekend. Oscar, that's going to be easy. Shoulders back, let's smash it. Well, we'll see how we do. And that is Oscar at 100%, but he hasn't run for half the session yet. He has apparently run wide. I'm guessing it was just over a curb. Not too bad. Let's have a quick look.
Here's the replay. Now just focus on the HAAS.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
They've gone wide.
It looks as though he got away without damaging the underfloor, which is a good thing. But we need to get him running just past the half hour, so that we can make sure he's participated in more than half of the session, and then he'll get the full XP boost at the end of the weekend for this practice session. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start saving some fuel with Mick, just on the off chance that I can maybe run him
Someone spun out.
a bit longer. There we go, we're past the half hour mark, and Oscar has got to 100%, so we'll call him in. And that's Oscar done for practice. Probably should have started saving fuel right from the start with Mick, but never mind. We can get an extra lap or two. Might be quicker just to call him in and put him on a set of softs, actually, thinking about it. Yeah, let's do that. Get him as high as we can. As long as he hits 85%, which he's going to do before this run ends, then he'll get the 15 out of 15 bonus, because he's already got 100% on car knowledge and track knowledge. Actually, the way he's going up, I might be able to just extend this stint slightly and not have to bother coming back in. We'll do that. We'll just extend and call him in when he runs out of fuel, and then that'll be it. So we'll cancel the call in. Just going to miss out on 90 on 100, but it's going to be close. I'm going to ignore for one lap and then hope he's got enough fuel to actually get around into the pits. We could see Mick running out of fuel on track here.
We've just had a car run wide.
Come on, get to 100. I think he might just have done it. Yep, he's made 100. Can he make it back to the pits before he runs out of fuel? I have had a car run out of fuel in the pit lane before. And we are at the far end of the pit lane. Have we got enough fuel to get there? Just about made it. But there we go. Both drivers 100s across the board. Good stuff. Out of interest, how long has it taken me to amass 15k subscribers? Well, I've been on YouTube as a... I've been on YouTube as a viewer for years, for like 10 years now, nearly, I think. But as a creator, maybe 4 years. It took me about 2 years, and then I just kind of stopped making videos for about 2 years, and I haven't gone above where I am now. I hit 15k, and I've fluctuated from where I am to where I am. Just going up and going down by small numbers for the last 2 years. But for me, it's not about chasing subscriber numbers. I mean, it's simply about, this is my therapy. Just broadcasting my gameplay. I was going to be playing anyway, so I figured, why not just stick it on the internet and have some fun with an audience. It's not viewed as a career for me. It's not viewed as a way of making money. It's just a way of keeping me sane, keeping in touch with people. Right, let's switch some parts over. Let's get the newer engine in. Go with the 86 on this one, and then for Oscar, 75 and an 88. I'll go with the 75. I'll save the 88 for Mexico and Brazil. I do need to change the ERS over though. That's about to hit the point of degradation where it starts to hamper the car. There we go. So we are ready to start quali.
Ready to check, ready to check.
Okay, let's go out and do an early run. Hope we don't get held up. We're going to have less tyres available to us in quali as well, because we didn't use the HAAS. So we do need to be careful with our runs. Make sure that we are timing them right and getting the most out of the tyres. I'm hoping we're not going to get traffic. Okay, we got past Russell relatively easily. Hopefully Latifi won't be an issue. No, he's not. Let's see. About 0.4 of a difference between them. I think Mick might slightly have been held up. But this is it. We've only got these 2 sets of tyres. And we'll get a 3rd set if we get through to Q3. So I really don't want to use these tyres again. We're basically just hoping that those times are good enough to get us through to Q2, which they should be. Hello again, Matthew. Good to see you. Ooh, Mick is close to the drop zone, but I think we've got enough pace in the car to stay clear. Ocon's possibly going to improve. I don't think Sonoda's going to improve enough. No, he's not. Okay, so P7 for Oscar. P14 for Mick. I think Mick might have been held slightly, but even so, it's not looking good. We are going to do a scrub run at the start of the session, and then do our timed run at the end of the session. Check and put the right tyres on. 81% on those, and those as well. Yep, let's take the extra little bit of fuel out. I think Mick might struggle to get into Q3 here.
Radio check.
Alright, no traffic please. I think Piastri's just going to avoid getting held up by Bottas there. And that's a little bit more like it, just about 2.5, 3 tenths between the two drivers. So, yeah, Mick did get held up a little bit on that first run in qualifying 1, but a little bit closer to Oscar this time out. Of course, we have got room for improvements. We've got new tyres waiting to go on the car. That will definitely give us some extra speed, some extra performance. But as you can see, Mick a little off the pace still, and it is questionable as to whether or not he's going to get through. Okay, the field is starting to go out. Send out Oscar now. I want Mick to be the last person across the line if possible, because it gives him the best possible chance of getting out, although there's a queue that's not letting us through right now. This is my worry, is that Oscar's going to get stuck behind a slower driver. Oh, no, he's snuck in ahead of Hamilton, behind Gasly. That's okay. It's not a bad position. And let's send Schumacher out now. That should hopefully be enough time for him to get round. So Oscar crosses the line to start his lap. Mick coming around the final corner now. We are going to ride on board with Mick. Because this is the lap that could see him knocked out. In fact, actually, let's ride on the broadcast shot. Is improving in Sector 1, which is good. This page needs to be improved. It doesn't tell you how much you're doing, how much you're up or down on a lap as you're doing the lap, which is annoying. It just tells you what your current sector times are, what your gap to the leader is, and what your best time is. It doesn't give you whether you're up or down, which is something I really think is definitely missing. We're improving in the middle sector as well. Oscar finishes and goes 5th. Good lap from Oscar. He splits up, temporarily split the Mercedes. Hamilton goes faster. Norris is up there in 8th place. That's a surprise. Right, Mick coming round the final corner now. We need a big improvement here. And we do actually improve by about half a second, but it's just not quite enough. Still needed another 10th and a bit to beat Joe. So 11th for Mick. That's going to cost us a little in the sponsors, because I did say both cars would get to Q3. It's probably a little optimistic of me. 7th place, though, for Oscar. That's pretty good. He's going to get the Q3 shootout. I'm surprised Norris is up there. And then, who is missing? See, Alonso and Ocon further down than I thought they'd be. But both of the alphas are going to have penalties. So that is going to put Mick into P9. Possibly even P8, depending on Perez as well. Right, one last run for Oscar. Let's take that last little bit of fuel out. Tyres. I'm going to go with those ones. And we'll do a scrub run and then a proper run at the end. SITV, welcome to see you. Welcome to see you. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. It has been a while since I've seen you on a live one. Okay, so Oscar's banker lap is going to be a 135. That's not too bad. Very worn tyres though compared to the rest of the AI. I think they're using new tyres. Some of them are anyway. Our tyres looking like hot garbage now, 62% after 2 qualifying runs. But we do have that brand new set waiting for us. There we go, our last set of softs. We're going to be medium and hard all the way through for the race. And we're the only ones going out on brand new tyres as well, which is going to move us up the order a bit. A little bit of a gap just in case there's a yellow flag in front. Hopefully it'll clear before we get there. And once again we'll ride on board with the broadcast cam. Oh, thank you very much, Farah. Much appreciated. It's very kind of you. Okay, so we're hunting down Zhou, who's only 2.5 tenths ahead of us. On these much fresher tyres, we should be able to improve a fair bit. I think we could be fast enough for 7th. I'm not sure if we can maybe squeeze in between Hamilton and Perez. But don't forget, Bottas, Zhou and Perez in the top 10 are all taking penalties this weekend. We're up in the middle sector as well, into the twiddly stuff, which doesn't really suit our car. Around the final corner and up to the line, what can we do? What can we get? We go 7th. A few tenths off, but we will end up in 6th, as I said, thanks to Perez's penalty. And Mick will jump a couple of places at least as well.
It's race day, with the teams and drivers ready and raring to go.
HAAS proved quite resourceful during qualifying. That puts them in a very good position to make the most of this race start. It was a pleasure to watch Red Bull's excellent performance during qualifying. Their drivers will now be looking ahead to the race itself and hoping to capitalize.
Wasn't a pleasure for me.
And the race will be taking place under blue skies. That means
they were faster than me. That's not a pleasure at all.
Strategies without any added complications.
No doubt, there's a lot to contend with here at the United States Grand Prix. It's going to be a thrilling outcome to a thrilling weekend.
Okay, so let's see. We are starting 8th with Mick. Very nice. He will have that extra set of softs, which we will not have with Oscar. Now, if we go with the medium tyres, we've got that as our potential there. If we throw in an extra set of hard tyres, say, at the start, and go like that, we can end very strongly. And we can run our tyres like that. The downside to going with this strategy is that we will be a bit slow off the line, and we might struggle to stay with the front runners on DRS. So let's have a look at that one. Let's get rid of that one because we haven't got any usable softs really. Let's have a look at changing this one to a hard medium. And that is supposedly a minute and a half slower, which I don't believe, but I do think it will be slightly slower just because the tyres are going to degrade quicker. I am thinking that's the way to go. We're not going to be amazingly fast with that strategy, but we are going to have good tyre preservation, which towards the end of each stint is going to be important, I think. Especially with Oscar, who, as we know, is a little hard on his tyres. Mick's not too bad on his tyres. We might go the other way with Mick. We might go the hard medium route because he is a little kinder on his tyres. Yeah, let's do that. We'll split the strategy that way. Oops. No, it's selected. There we go. And we'll see which works out better. This one I think will work better for Oscar simply because his tyre wear is much worse. In terms of fuel loads, we're going to stay as we are. We are going to push a little bit at the start. Not with the ERS though. We just want to stay in touch until the DRS kicks in after a couple of laps. There we go. How do I think the race will go? I think we'll be fighting to hang on to 6th. If we can keep Schumacher with Oscar, that'll help Schumacher because he is a little slower.
It's sunny and bright as the drivers line up on the grid.
But I think we're going to need at least one safety car for the podium.
A top 10 position today, but will they be able to capitalise on it? And it's Schumacher as the second driver today. They might not be in the top 3 spots, but things could change fast once the race gets underway. Will their hard work pay off today? Here we go. It's the United States Grand Prix.
I'm seeing a lot of soft and hard
soft
and mediums, both in front and behind us. This could be a very painful start. We'll focus on Oscar because he is the front of the 2 cars. He has lost out to Norris, who's on softs. That was kind of expected.
And McLaren with a great overtake.
And now that we're off the line, I'm going to calm the tyres down. Keep the fuel burn a little high though. And I don't think I'm going to use the ERS at all for a while, because we're chasing down cars on much faster tyres. We want to try and save it. If we start dropping out of the DRS range, we're going to need to deploy to get back in. So I'm going to save it for that rather than trying to force an overtake only to get past again. You can already see Oscar is starting to drop back a little bit from Norris. This is where our car is at its weakest. I'm going to have to push the tyres back up again, I think.
If you've got some margin, try to increase the pace a little bit.
Need to stay with them on these first couple of laps. And if we can break away from Ricciardo in the process, then bonus. Because we can create a separation from the front train to a middle train. Mick thinking about a little look. Oscar going defensive there. It's not ideal. I don't want these guys to fight each other, so I'm going to tell Mick to not fight, at least for this lap. Next lap, when the DRS is active on this straight, I'll turn that off, because then them overtaking each other could be helpful. But on this lap, no. That could just cause them to drop out of the queue, which is something we do not need. And again, you can see we are dropping back again in this slow section. And then closing back up in the opening section. But if we don't have the DRS on the start-finish straight, it's going to be very hard to stay with them through the high-speed section or get close enough in the high-speed section to get the DRS on the main straight at the back of the track.
DRS enabled.
Norris is actually the fastest man on track right now. Interesting. Getting a nice little toe off the Mercedes there, it would seem. Alright, this is the strongest part of the circuit for us through here. Okay, now we'll give them freedom to fight. Let's turn the tyre wear down. We'll leave the fuel burn up for another lap. And we have got that gap to Ricciardo up to 2 seconds now, which is good. So we'll be able to pull away from him. This is where we start to drop back again. As you can see, there's a very low speed corner going into another low speed corner section here. Get a little bit of high speed through here. And that is danger. Just sneaking back in. And this is what we're going to have to be really careful of, not dropping the DRS at the end of the lap, because that will then ruin our chances of actually staying with this front train. It'll pretty much destroy it. We've got to hang on just a few more laps. I mean, those soft tyres that are on Norris, Sainz and Russell are degrading quickly. As you can see, they're already down to just 66%. So those guys aren't going to get many laps at all on those tyres. Our hards are actually worse than some of the mediums because we pushed them really hard for 3 laps, but yeah, it's the soft runners that are really going to start to struggle in the next lap or two, next couple of laps. And that's when we can start to force the issue with Norris. And already you can see Sainz is now acting a little bit of a roadblock for Hamilton. We're much closer. We're half a second closer to Norris than we were at this time last lap. I'm hoping I can turn off the fuel burn at the end of this lap. Norris is still fastest at the moment. Those soft tyres did their job in the opening couple of laps. Russell has dropped down, his tyres struggling as well. Now I'm going to try and push past Norris if I can. I want to try and get alongside into turn 1 so we can use the high-speed cornering of the first sector to complete the move properly. Maybe get a run into the hairpin for the DRS straight. Oh, excuse me. Right, I've got to turn that fuel burn down. It's getting a little hot now. Big lunge under braking from Mick there. And there we go, we're alongside, we'll get the move done. Battery deployment will help complete that.
Okay, good job, that's one.
And now we're closing in on the back of Hamilton.
HAAS with an overtake.
So let's turn the battery down a little bit. And now we need to start getting ready to do the same with Mick. Don't want to risk him dropping off the back. Hello Marcel, good to see you. Okay, Mick's going to have a look at the inside. Can you hold that line around the outside there? Make it the inside here.
So let's focus on the race now.
And Oscar's actually holding up Mick now.
Good job so far.
Let's give Mick a little bit of a push.
Mode push.
Copy.
HAAS with an overtake there.
Hamilton desperately trying to find a way past Sainz. Hamilton's going to be harder to overtake, but if he gets a bad run through a corner as a result of a failed move on Sainz, then we might be able to pick him off. Let's turn Schumacher's battery off. There's no point wasting that, seeing as he's just stuck in the slipstream. Looks like Hamilton might be trying to get the move done here, and he does. Now we need to try and capitalise on Sainz being out of, offline slightly. He's fighting back, but he hasn't got the tyres to help him do that move. Can we sneak underneath him? Schumacher's dropping off. Let's give Schumacher a push. And we've dropped Norris. His tyres can't keep up with this pace. Unfortunately, we are out of battery. That is not good. Alright, I'm going to go to harvest mode.
Charge on.
Yep.
And I'm going to try and let Mick through. There we go. Mick can attack. Hopefully Oscar can stay with. Sainz is right for the picking. He blocks the move. Hamilton now being held up by his teammate. And Verstappen is just running away at the front here. I am actually surprised that Leclerc is not able to go with Verstappen here. Russell's hanging on to him quite nicely. Chance at the inside for Mick. Doesn't quite make the move. But he has got the inside run up here. Surely he's going to get the move done into turn one. Ferrari's quick, but it hasn't got any grip left. And we get the move done around the outside of turn two. Beautiful stuff.
Good job.
Right, let's put the battery into neutral. Sainz trying to come back at us.
New race position for HAAS.
Charge off.
Copy.
Oscar needs to deploy just to make sure he actually gets back into DRS. He does. Now we just need to sit here for another lap or so. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see Sainz and Russell both diving into the pits along with Norris at the end of this lap. And the fact that we've managed to stay with this front train, not including Verstappen, on our hard tyres has put us into a really strong position now going forward for the middle stint of the race. They're not pitting. Okay, so this is a chance to harvest some more battery then.
Copy.
This is a big surprise to see them staying out this long on these softs. It must be this lap they're going to pit then, surely. I mean, their tyres are approaching the canvas for Sainz. But the biggest surprise for me so far is the lack of pace for Leclerc. I honestly thought he would have pulled away from Russell by now. Just doesn't seem to have the pace. Which means Verstappen's going to walk away with this one. I mean, it's 4 seconds up now. And despite having no grip left on those soft tyres, Russell is still all over the back of him. Oh, I think we just lost the DRS.
Modways.
Copy.
That's not ideal. And there goes Sainz. So Sainz pits. Russell stays out. I mean, I suppose that kind of makes sense. If Russell can keep pace on those tyres, it makes sense to keep him out. We have dropped off the back here. We're going to have to push Schumacher through this sector here, just to be sure that we do get back on. Oscar's nearly fully charged again, which is good. Then we can swap them round again and start charging Mick back up. And now we are seeing Russell starting to really drop away from Leclerc. I think he's got to pit this lap, surely. That's potentially going to drop Hamilton out of DRS. I mean, he'll probably get it on this start-finish straight here, which he does. But he's got to close that gap up to Leclerc and then keep it there. Oscar's now fully charged.
Charge off.
Yeah.
have to actually spend a little bit of that battery because we
Over
are
push.
Copy.
outside of the range right now. The detection point is just after this corner here. I think we just made it. Yes, we did. Good, good, good. Right, so can we hang on to the back of the Mercedes and Leclerc? We should be able to. I might have to push them hard just to get them right up onto the back of them, though. I think it's safe to say, unless there was a disaster, Verstappen wins, but a podium could be on. Yeah. We don't have the pace to hunt down Verstappen. We never did in this race. This is just not a great track for our cars. There's too much low speed in the circuit, but we do have that chance of maybe sneaking a podium now.
Charge on.
Understood.
Unfortunately, we have dropped out of DRS range and I can't get back in. So let's slow down
Charge
Oscar.
on.
Copy.
Make sure that Mick has a chance of getting back into DRS. And just get these guys leapfrogging each other. Not going to happen on this lap.
So overtake is available if you need it.
Copy.
But we will be back in the zone come the start finish straight. Right, there we go.
If you've got some margin, try to increase the pace a
So
little bit.
we've dropped off significantly in that one and a half laps. We've dropped off quite significantly, as you can see. But to be expected, given the characteristics of the track, given the gap in quali to the Mercedes, we knew we were going to struggle against them on this race. We thought we'd be fighting with the Alpines, and the Alpines are, well, Ocon's in 7th, fighting with Ricciardo right now. Where is the second Alpine? Alonso is down in 19th. Has he just stopped? He must have just stopped. He has. And he's gone on to another set of mediums. Unless he was on softs at the start. Right, as long as we can stay within touching distance, like this, because that gap will eventually start to come down again as the medium tyres fall away and the hard tyres stay fresher for longer, and we might be able to sneak our way back onto them. We have got mediums to come for Mick, and another set of hards for Oscar as Verstappen comes into the pits. He's probably going to go onto a set of hards here. Unless he's going to go medium, medium, hard. He might be doing that. Ocon's into the pits as well. Now Bottas and Tsunoda. Verstappen is coming out of the pit lane now, and he's on medium, so he's going medium, hard. So we will have the tyre compound advantage at the end of the race with both drivers. And who knows, maybe we can hold up Verstappen slightly as he tries to fight his way through. He is, what, 6.5 seconds behind us, so it'll take him a few laps, but he will catch us up. And now that Schumacher's not charging, he should be able to start leapfrogging. And there we go, straight through. So the gap to Hamilton is 4.8 seconds. I'm hoping we can start to bring that down now. Let's take a look at the tyre percentages of us against Hamilton and Leclerc. They are a little bit worse than us. Not quite the difference I was hoping for, but again, we did push our tyres hard at the start, and Piastri does have very high tyre wear, and they're both in. They're both in quite early. So we now inherit the lead of the Grand Prix. And with Verstappen isolated, it's going to take him longer to close up, because he doesn't have the DRS that we're going to have on the start-finish straight and the back straight. But he is still closing in. That gap's down to just 5 seconds already. Fresh rubber and faster compound of tyres, yeah, it makes that a certainty. Pit window for Oscar opens up next lap, I believe. There is Max in the background. It's just 4 seconds now. He's closing so fast. Fresh tyres on this circuit make a huge difference. They really do. I mean, this right here, this is the dream for Haas. 1-2 at their home circuit, but it's not going to last, unfortunately, not unless something happens to Verstappen. What is really quite nice is that Ricciardo is currently holding up everyone else behind him. He's holding up Sainz, Russell, Hamilton, Leclerc, Norris. They've all got to get past Ricciardo. I'm hoping he's going to stay out for another couple of laps and slow things down even more. And as soon as I said that, he pits. So, bugger.
Oh, there's a spin!
Ooh,
Let's
spin
see
for
what
Sainz.
happened there. Let's have another look. Sainz is the focus here.
He gets free of
They spun the car. What a
Ricciardo pitting,
disaster.
gets on the power a little bit too quickly, a bit too eagerly, and throws away
And that
multiple
was
positions.
a bitter blow for the team, and it may have really hurt their overall chances.
Okay, that helps us with our chances of getting a podium. Sainz down to 13th place. He's going to come out behind Ricciardo still. Ricciardo's going to go in and out the pits before Sainz gets to him. That's how much he's lost from that spin. He is still behind Ricciardo, and not just behind him, but 2.5 seconds behind him. So Ricciardo's going to do us a huge favour again, because he's now going to hold up Sainz, and he's got fresh tyres to do it. As our boys
Sounds like someone's locked up.
do it. Oh, Leclerc's
Take a
struggling
look
as well.
now. Watch this. There's Leclerc.
And it's into the hairpin,
And this,
leading onto the DRS
yes,
back
there.
straight.
That's the lockup.
Clumsy, cost him about a
That's going
second
to
or
be
so.
a big blow to the team. Will they?
God, Verstappen's going to be on us before we even reach the end of the lap. Look. Maybe we can hang with him for half a lap, but I don't think we'll get, you know, a couple of laps of following him. I don't think we've got enough grip left in these tyres for that. God, look how fast he is. Just soars straight past Mick there. I mean, DRS assisted, but even so.
No, let's focus on the race now.
Red Bull moved up.
What's going on with Ferrari in these saves lately? I don't know, Mr. Water. I don't know. I think Ferrari are somehow managing to corrupt themselves in video games as well as in real life. And Oscar's just a sitting duck here for Verstappen. Just breezes past him. Watch how quickly he pulls away from Oscar now.
Red Bull gained a place.
It's gone already. 1.5 seconds already. There was no point wasting battery trying to stay with him there. So next up is Russell. He's 6 seconds behind us in closing. Hamilton right behind him.
Was that a lock-up on the track?
Hamilton currently fastest man on the track.
Let's have a
Perez
look.
struggling
So
now.
let's look at this. There's Sergio Perez. They've locked up, but that could have been much worse.
He kept it out the wall just. That was close. He does lose at least one position. Did he get lost?
Devastated. There'll be questions.
Did he lose out to both of the Alpines there? No, he's splitting them. Ocon is right on him. Going to pit Oscar at the end of this lap. Speed is unreal. Well, it's the fastest car in, you know, on the track at the moment in terms of overall performance. He's on much fresher tyres. He's on medium tyres compared to our hards, which are very worn. It's not surprising he got past us that quickly, but yeah, it's always very sobering when that happens. We are slightly out of sequence because we did start on hards and nobody else did. So the rest of the grid's now on fresher rubber than we are. But we are going to pit very soon. But yeah, we're 4 seconds down already. And we've lost 2 seconds to Hamilton on this lap as well. It's a long lap, so when your tyres are worn like this, you do lose a lot of lap time. Right, let's bring in Oscar for another set of hard tyres. That means he'll be able to really push on a set of mediums at the end. Mick, we're going to go an extra few laps and put him onto some mediums. thought about bringing Oscar in a lap earlier, but we want to keep this leapfrogging going as long as we can. Try and give Schumacher a little bit more of an advantage in keeping the gap to the Mercedes before he pits. Helps keep his average speed up. And it should hopefully mean as well that Mick will get DRS on the main straight now, with Oscar diving into the pit lane in front of him.
Okay, understood. Limiter on, please.
Mick gets the DRS. That should hopefully keep him ahead of Russell for another couple of corners at least. Leclerc's through. Can we stay ahead of Norris? No. But we are going to get out ahead of Alonso, which means we're ahead of Ocon, Perez, Ricciardo, Bottas, Sainz. Ahead of a big queue of traffic. Ocon's close.
If you've got some margin, try to increase the pace a little bit.
I want to try and break the DRS before it becomes an issue. Oh, Norris has had a wobble, I think.
They've gone wide.
No, it's
Let's
Bottas.
take a closer look. Now we see Valtteri Bottas.
Hopefully his damage is underfloor there, but it's not too bad. Can we break the 1 second? Not quite. Ocon's going to come with us, so we're going to bring a whole train of cars with us. We'll try and push through the slow section. We have got a freshness of tyres advantage over Ocon and Alonso and Co behind. Can I get that gap up to a second? It's close. I think we're going to do it. Okay, time to pit Mick.
Box, just left box.
Copy, box. Wow. Wow.
Let's get Mick to try and stay with the Mercedes if he can.
Copy.
Right. Let's calm down Oscar's car. Hope that we've got enough pace on these brand new hards to stay away from the slightly worn mediums. Let Oscar get on with his race now. Mick did not get DRS, but he did hold up Hamilton. In fact, he's holding Hamilton up even more. He's blocking him. I think the Mercedes are in with a real shout of the podium, of a double podium here. This is always a track where they seem to go well because of the low downforce. The Mercedes typically is very strong at low downforce tracks, or low downforce corners. So I wouldn't be at all surprised to see them P2 and P3 at the end of this race.
Box.
Copy.
Leclerc just does not seem to have the pace for whatever reason. And the only reason he's on Hamilton right now is because we held up Hamilton. Oh, 3 seconds is not a good stop. Oscar goes through. We're going to be well and truly in the middle of this train. That's not good. Oh, we're at the back of the train. We're behind Sainz. Okay, well, let's get onto the back of the train. And again, we're going to have a significant tyre advantage now over the cars in front of us. Even Ricciardo. I boxed him too late. Well, no, I boxed him out of sequence. Don't forget, we were running along on the hard, so we had to run that long. Otherwise, the mediums wouldn't last long enough on their stints. So there was always the risk that we were going to get caught in traffic with our pit stops. But we should hopefully be able to cut our way through some of these guys relatively quickly. I mean, you can see the difference between our tyres and Sainz's tyres. And they've got to go onto hards. All those guys that are currently on mediums, they've got to go onto a set of hard tyres. And we're going to have mediums and then another set of mediums with Mick. And we're on fresh hards with Oscar, who's going to go onto another set of... who's going to go onto a set of mediums at the end. So we will have the tyre advantage in the later stages of the race. We just need to try and make the most of our situation right now.
Use overtake button.
All right, let's see if we can force our way past sites here. We've got a big old train of cars here. Absolutely flew past sites there.
So P12.
HAAS with an overtake.
Oscar starting to close down Norris, starting to pull away a little bit from Perez. Got a yellow flag in sector 2. I think that's one of the Williams.
Seems to have been a lockup.
Yeah, Latifi. Come on, Mick, use that extra grip you've got. Nice to get Bottas on the run down to the hairpin here. Put to the inside. Nope. Sainz is in danger of being dropped here. Someone's gone wide in sector 3.
Who's running wide there?
Zhou.
Here's the replay. Now let's watch this. The Alfa Romeo involved in this one, and they've gone wide.
That's not
Way
too bad.
wide.
Alright, let's get him under braking. Maybe not. I'm going to harvest a little bit of battery through here.
Copy.
Let's go for the move up the inside here.
Charge on, charge on.
Copy.
Oh, great overtake through the S's. Beautiful stuff.
Keep this approach. Good job so far.
HAAS with an overtake.
Could Piastri
there.
get top 5? Well, yes. The plan is to try and get 5th with Piastri. I'm going to have the tyre advantage over Norris. I'm closing in on the back of him. He's already on relatively warm mediums. I'm on fresh hards. He's got to go onto hard tyres. And I've got to go onto mediums. So, yeah, Oscar's got the advantage over Norris. And he's about to get DRS on him as well. I don't know if I can get Mick up into 6th. I'm hoping I can.
He was overtake.
Copy.
Still a big old queue behind us. Bottas, Sainz, Zhou, Gasly, Tsunoda. This is a monster train. And Piastri is now all over the back of Norris. This should be a relatively straightforward pass. Nope. Mick Oscar is not quite alongside him. He's just sitting back. Okay, that's a bit frustrating. But we'll hopefully get him on start-finish straight. It's getting very crowded around here. A lockup could be bad. As in multiple cars hit bad. Alonso is struggling. Ricciardo's got the best tyres outside of us in this group because he's on hards, so they've got a lot less wear on them. That's why it was so hard to try and get past. Not only was his tyres in better shape, well, there goes Alonso, so they're going to start pitting already. We need to get past them before we start losing too much ground now.
A new race position for HAAS.
Yuki's tyres are better than some of the cars he's chasing, which is allowing him to stay in the train. Oh, we need to get past Ricciardo. Ricciardo is the sticking point for us here. If we can get Ricciardo quickly, and I'm hoping we can maybe get him down into this hairpin. There we go. We should find it easier work getting past the other guys. Going to save what little battery I've got left.
HAAS with an overtake.
Last thing we want is Crofty going into overdrive. Ricciardo fighting back again. Someone locked up in the background. Oh, that was a big smash, I think. We got a safety car. Ooh, okay. It's too early to take advantage of that. It's way too early. But it's going to play right into the hands of the rest of the field. This is going to hurt us so badly.
It's a crash.
This is the worst possible time for a safety car for us. All the guys who are on worn-out mediums are going to get to pit now onto brand new hard tyres. Look at them all diving into the pits. And we're still stuck behind goddamn Ricciardo. Ah, the worst possible timing. That safety car has killed us. I mean, fifth might still be on for Oscar, but it's going to be hard work to get that now. All these cars behind us are going to be on brand new hard tyres. I'm not going to need to pit for the rest of the race. We are going to have to pit. I don't know if we're going to have the pace to pull away enough.
So overtake is available if you need it.
Yeah, copy.
Absolute disaster. I mean, I'm saving tyres and fuel with the hope that maybe I can stretch them enough to maybe entertain the idea of a set of softs with Oscar at the end. I don't know if Mick's going to have enough life left in his tyres. He might still have to go on to mediums. I think Oscar's probably going to have to go on to mediums as well. But yeah, that has killed any chance of a really strong result for us now. Not just because they're all getting a free pit stop and we're nowhere near being in a position to pit, but it's going to bunch the whole field up as well. All that gap that we've got is just gone. So when we do pit, we're going to come out a long way down. I think we're going to struggle to fight our way back into the points, I think. If we were on a medium hard strategy like some of the AI, we'd be laughing right now. Free pit stop, close back in on the leaders, chance to really go at it. Yeah, terrible for us. I just got to hope the safety car comes in early and the whole field doesn't get the chance to close up properly. But even that's not very likely, I think. I think we've got at least one more lap of the safety car, probably 2 more laps after this one. It'd be so nice if the safety car came in this lap, but not going to happen, I don't think. Oh, that's depressing. Just checking on Oscar. Hamilton behind him on a brand new set of hard tyres. There's Ricciardo on his wornish hard tyres. There is Schumacher just coming into shot. And then in front of us, Leclerc, Russell, Verstappen. I think they're all on brand new brand new hards as well. Yes, they are. So the real fight now, apart from us trying to get back into the points, is going to be, can Hamilton make it a double on the podium for Mercedes, or will Leclerc be able to hang on? Because I don't think Leclerc's got enough pace in his car this weekend, or at least that's what we've seen so far. We've seen the Mercedes has looked a little bit stronger than the Ferrari. This is an absolute godsend for Sainz as well, and Perez to a lesser degree. Their races have both been pretty ruined this weekend. Perez with a penalty, Sainz with that big spin that drops him way down the field. And this has certainly salvaged their race for them. they should be able to get their way past Norris and Ricciardo relatively easily. It was Yuki who crashed. Yep. Tsunoda was the one who brought out the safety car. Damn it, Yuki. Told you you needed to crash when we were ready to make our stops, not them. Lost in translation, I guess. You don't think I should pit? Well, I'm certainly not pitting under the safety car, but I have to pit with Oscar because he's only run hard tyres so far. Oscar has to pit because he has to use 2 compounds of tyres. Mick, oh, the car's coming in.
Lap of the safety car.
Copy.
Okay, so some of the field is going to stay out the way, but most of it's all formed up. Mick could potentially stay out, but I don't think those tyres will last, and even if they would last, they'd be so slow at the end that everyone would overtake him anyway. It's just a question of what tyres I go on to. I will have a tyre advantage for a while once I make the stops, but I'm going to have to push hard, I think, and that advantage will wear out pretty quickly.
So you can push a bit more.
Understood.
Charge on.
Copy.
So we need to get past Ricciardo ASAP. Ricciardo is going to be the log jam again.
Use overtake.
Yeah, copy.
So we have to force our way past him as quick as we can. And there we go.
Very good.
Because of all the cars behind, Ricciardo's tyres are actually the worst.
Overtake there.
So he's going to have to make another stop as well. So we need him to hold up the rest of the field as much as possible. I'm hoping the 2 McLarens just get into a dogfight and slow the rest of the field right down. Would another safety car help me? It would in about 10 laps time, yes. Because then we could make our stops on the safety car and close right back up on the field again. The AI will be so slow at the end of this race. Not really. I mean, we did 23 laps on mixed hard tyres before we pitted him, and we did 24 laps. There are 23 laps, including this one, left in the race. They're all on brand new hards. They're going to be fine. They'll be slow, but by the time we've caught back up, we'll be slowing down anyway because our tyres will be wearing out. So we will have a small window where we'll be, quite a bit faster than them. But that window will get smaller and smaller with every passing lap. And in the end, our tyres will end up in a similar state to theirs. Maybe a little bit better, but not by much. what we have been able to do with the safety car is just delay our stops by a couple of laps. So we can get, you know, slightly better tyres at the end. But you can see Oscar's really struggling already. I mean, their tyres are 30% better than Oscar's, and he's already dropped off the back. I'm not pushing him. I'm already pushing him on fuel. I'm not pushing the tyres because there's no point.
DRS enabled.
All we've got to try and do now is stay with Hamilton if we can, because he will get his way past us. And maybe let Mick through and then try and stay with Mick, because Mick's on the medium, so he'll have a better chance of keeping pace with Hamilton. But again, his tyres are in rough shape as well, and in a few laps they'll be worse than Oscar's. They're already borderline worse now. Let me see. Can I stretch enough for softs? I mean, I would need to go... Really, to get the best out of them, I'd need to go to lap 45. And these mediums are going to be dead by that point. This reckons it'll be 9 seconds slower to do that, so... Yeah, we'll stick with the mediums, but we will extend the stint by an extra couple of laps. We get to pit on lap 41. We'll have better mediums to fight with at the end of the race. Let's take a look at Oscar. Oscar's already due to pit on lap 41. Oscar might be able to make... I haven't got these fresh softs with Oscar, so I can't pit Oscar for softs. So yeah, we've got to hope for another safety car in around about 6-7 laps time. Or even once we've made our stops, you know, if it allows us to close back up to the field again, because we'll be at pretty much back of this. We'll be definitely at the back of this long train in 6 laps time. There goes Hamilton and Mick.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
Mick's through.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
Got to make sure Oscar does not fall off the back of Mick.
Copy.
Those mediums should let Schumacher stay on the back of Hamilton for at least the next few laps before they really start falling away. And hopefully Oscar can stay on the back of Mick.
Good job so far.
The set spot for that.
Is that a new race position for HAAS?
Stroll might do us a favour. Yeah, or Latifi. Or Magnussen. Oh no, Magnussen's not racing, is he? We got rid of Magnussen out of the off the grid. He'll be back next season.
So let's focus on the race now.
We're just not pulling away from Norris, look. And Norris is pulling everyone along with him. Ricciardo has dropped to 10th. He's outside the DRS. He's going to hold up Gasly, Ocon, Alonso, Bottas, Zhou, but they will start to find their way past him as well. So yeah, we're going to come out. Potentially, we're going to come out behind the two Astons here. We've got, what, 5 laps to go till we pit. Ferrari might do a Ferrari. Well, yeah, anything could happen. Neither of our drivers have had a wobble yet, which is also a worry because we know they are a little accident prone at times. Yellow flag in sector 2. It's another safety car. Okay, now we can capitalise on this one. Let me have a quick look. Leaders have not gone through yet, so the safety car is going to pick them up this lap. So we are going to pit early. We're still going to end up down the queue. Actually, yeah, we're not going to hold position. We're still going to end up at the back of the queue. So, do I box now? Do I go a lap and then box? No, I better box now. Because I might not catch up in time. Otherwise. Okay, so box Schumacher. Box Oscar. We're boxing earlier than I'd like. So we're going to have to be really careful on tyres. Especially with Oscar.
Crash. Let's see what happened there. Let's have a look here.
That's one less Aston Martin to worry about. He's locked up and gone into the wall.
Clearly something went very, very wrong there.
Ricciardo's pitting as well. So we are going to get ahead of Ricciardo with Mick, hopefully. Oscar can get past him as well, or stay ahead of him. I don't know. You know, obviously we're going to have to get held in the pits. Now we're going to drop Oscar behind. Okay. And we did drop behind Stroll, and we would have dropped behind Vettel had he not retired from the race. So let's immediately slap everything onto the lowest setting. That's a heavy braking zone, and if your car's got poor brake cooling, then yeah, lockups on that corner are definitely going to be increased. The Aston, I don't think, has particularly good brake cooling. So Ricciardo also on mediums along with us. And now that big tyre advantage that we were going to have, we don't really have it anymore. We're going to have it for a few laps. But by the end of the race, I think our tyres might well be in worse shape than some of these hard runners in front of us. Especially as we're going to have to work our tyres harder to make the overtakes. So 13th and 16th will have pace to get past the Alphas and Alonso and Ocon in the Alpines. We should hopefully have the pace to get past Gasly, but I think that's as far as it goes. Maybe Norris. I would expect Sainz and Perez to get past him. So maybe we're on for 7th and 8th, but I don't think we're going to get better than that unless someone else has a wobble. At this rate, Latifi might actually get onto the back of the queue. Russell could win this. Yes, he could. It's entirely possible. We know that the Mercedes is strong here. But I mean, Verstappen and that Red Bull are just mighty. So I would not be at all surprised to see Verstappen get past Russell, and those two scrap it out. Ultimately, I think it's going to be Russell who loses out in the long run. I think Russell's looking at P2 in this race. Any more crashes and softs? Well, definitely for Mick is an option, not really for Oscar. And then this is the tyre situation for Oscar. The best set we've got are at 82%, so the best of them's gone already. It'll be a fresh set of mediums, I think, for Oscar. If there's another another quick safety car. Mick, on the other hand, does have a brand new set of softs. It was just way too early to put those on. But if we get to lap 47, 48 and another safety car comes out, Schumacher's definitely going for softs. And I may box Oscar for a set of fresh mediums. It depends how far up the grid I've got them. Have I ever had a game crash while streaming? Yeah, in this series actually, Australia. It's actually in two parts. The game didn't so much crash as freeze. It just froze up. So I physically had to close the game down, which ended the stream,
Safety car in
and then
this lap. Safety car in.
restart the game, and then start a second stream. So the Australian Grand Prix is in two parts, but it froze before the race itself. It froze after qualifying, I think, or after practice, one of the two.
Motor race.
Yeah, copy.
No overtaking until the timing line.
Copy.
If you've got some margin, try to increase the pace a little bit.
Copy.
Alright, let's see if we can make up a couple of positions early.
Use overtake instead.
Copy.
Mick is currently my best shout for points. Not very often we see that. Yeah, McLaren have got a strong reputation. It's easy to sign the best staff with McLaren.
Okay, nice work.
You can even sign the best drivers as well, I think, to a degree. I don't know if you can sign Verstappen and Hamilton. I mean, financially, you can't really sign Verstappen. It's just so damn expensive. But, I mean, I did do a McLaren career where I played about with the options, and I could sign Leclerc on season 1 in place of Ricciardo. But even that puts you multiple millions in debt. Right, we've yet to make up a position, which is a little frustrating. Thought we had Bottas for a moment then. Come on, Mick, I need you to find some of that speed you were showing earlier on.
ERS enabled.
That's hard, it out to 88% already, look. These mediums do not like this track. And the softs hate this track. It's so harsh on tyres. Right, Oscar has fought his way through.
Nice work.
Let's turn his battery off. I need Mick to get past Bottas here. Come on, make the move. Up the inside. Get the launch. Oh, look at that. Beautiful.
Good job.
It's 3 cars in one go. Oh, no. Nearly got Joe.
Good job.
We got 2 cars there. That was nice. Right, let's turn Oscar's overtake back on now. About to run out of battery. Need to make this move work.
We have no ERS.
Copy.
Alright, we've got DRS but no battery.
Use overtake button.
Copy.
There we go.
Mega job, mates.
Oscar gets through. Mick trying to go up the inside.
With an overtake.
Complete the move,
No
please.
overtake.
Complete the move. No.
Understood.
No battery left. And that's potentially going to cost Oscar. Oh, he's still fighting. He's got a chance. Go on, complete the move. Complete the move.
Charge on, please.
Ah!
Copy.
Charge on, charge on.
Copy.
Oh, up the inside. Here's a chance. Who gets the DRS? We do. Excellent. So that's that move complete. Now we can try and get on the back of Ocon, who is 2 seconds ahead.
we are P10 now, P10.
We're in the points. Oscar boxed in. Now side by side with Bottas still.
At the moment, we're P12.
There we go, completes the move. Just gotta hope Joe does not take us here. Hold him off. Can Oscar dive up the inside maybe?
Switch charge on.
Copy.
Almost out of fuel now. Okay, gotta dial that back. A little bit more
Save
left
fuel.
Copy.
with Oscar.
Oh,
So let's focus on the race now.
Looks like that was a position gained for Alfa Romeo.
No, that's unfair on Schumacher. He's done a good job so far. Thought about telling him to move over. Trouble is, you tend to lose quite a bit of time when you do that, and you just get swamped by the cars behind. I think he'd end up dropping down at least 2 positions, maybe 3. Oh, another lockup. It's another safety car. Okay, pit options. Mick is coming in for a set of softs. Oscar is going to come in for a set of mediums. Some new mediums. Because then I can actually have the ability to push those
Sounds like
mediums.
there's been a crash.
With the worn mediums that are already 20% down, I just, you know, I wouldn't be able to push him at all. And they would fall away so quickly. Who's in front? Mick is in front again.
Save fuel and follow it.
So once again, we're going to drop to the back. This time we're going to drop all the way to the back, I think. But Mick, especially with those soft tyres, is going to be rapid in these closing laps. And Oscar's now going to have tyres that are going to look very healthy in comparison to the rest of the field as well. Hamilton has gone out. He's got a penalty in the next race as well, so he's obviously hit someone. I was too busy paying attention to getting the tyre stop sorted out to pay attention to the replay, so I don't know who he hit. Maybe it was he was fighting with Leclerc and Sainz. Don't see any damage. Both Ferraris look okay. He must have hit someone. Maybe just clipped them. Perez's front wing looks intact. He can't really see damage anywhere else, unless the rear wing actually falls off the car. So who knows? It might be a slight knock on someone's car, but it's not showing it. Right, we're back on the field. We're getting our ERS charged up. We're going to have another lap of the safety car before it comes in. That'll get our batteries hopefully fully charged. Some extra fuel to play about with. Everyone's going to the end. We're at the back of the field. But Mick now, with those soft tyres, has got a real chance of charging through. And Oscar can push. So he's got a chance of jumping through a bit as well. There you can see how much life I'm going to have in those soft tyres pitting where I did. It's not a lot. But what I can do here is that. And really push those tyres. And almost turn them into a set of softs. Russell behind Verstappen. Yep, this is to be expected. They were going to swap places back and forth. It does keep it interesting between those two at the top.
So overtake is available if you need it.
Copy.
Field is very slow. Maybe Verstappen's taken a knock. Oh, he's right on the safety car. Maybe it's just the safety car's particularly slow on this circuit.
Safety car in this lap, safety car in this lap.
Copy.
Okay. So, Piastri, don't fight teammate.
The safety car has left the pack now.
Copy.
If you've got some margin, try to increase the pace a little bit.
Copy.
Push hard now.
Copy.
And remember to use overtake.
Copy.
Here we go.
Charge off.
Copy.
Time for the big fight back. Come on, Mick, do me proud. Up the inside. There we go. That's one.
Very good.
That's two.
Is that a new race position for HAAS?
Keep this approach. Good job so far.
HAAS with an overtake there.
So we're going to get an exciting finish to what's been a difficult race. Points are still on the table, but It won't be the big points we were hoping for.
We have P13.
Okay, good job. That's one.
HAAS with an overtake.
Come on, get out of the way, Alonso. See you later, old man.
Keep that up.
We're through. Chasing after Ricardo.
Good job so far.
It looks like Ocon is the cork in the bottle at the moment.
DRS enabled. That's P14.
Oh, 3 wide through this corner, that's not a good thing. Ah, we can't quite make the move stick. Back at the inside of Ricardo. Now we've got him.
Good job.
And up the inside of Bottas, please. There we go.
Good job.
Schumacher back in the points.
Keep it up.
Maybe big points are on. Come on, boys. Keep doing this.
6 laps to go, 6 laps.
Still got a healthy tyre advantage. I'm going to calm Oscar's tyres down now.
He was overtaken.
Copy.
Alright, a good run here. Can see me maybe get both of them.
No overtake.
There we
Yeah,
go. Mick up to 8th. Good job, Mick. Right.
Good job.
We need to work on Oscar a little bit. I'm going to have to get him to charge his battery. He's struggling to make a pass without it.
Charge on.
Copy.
Bottas is about to drop out of DRS. He might just have got it for this lap. No, he didn't. Okay. Ah, Oscar hit the brakes because Bottas cut in front, and then we lose the DRS.
We have 5 laps to go. Charge on, charge on.
Copy.
Oh, it's tense. Joe got us back under DRS, but we'll take him here on the main straight. There we go. That's 8th place returned. Oscar's struggling to move through the field, but Mick is certainly going to salvage some points for us here. Next up is Gasly, who again does not have DRS, so we don't have to worry about turning the battery off for that pass. I do have to worry about the fuel though.
Save fuel.
Copy.
Let's complete this pass.
So we have 4 laps to go.
Copy.
Mick all over the back of Gasly now.
Haas with an overtake there.
Long DRS straight coming up. Might be able to get him onto the back of Norris. Oh, and Perez is with Norris, so might get onto the pair of them. Okay, let's go neutral. Need to force the issue now.
Off, please.
Copy.
Charge off.
Copy.
Come on, Oski, he's so close to points. Use that speed of yours.
Three laps to go.
You're doing a good job.
Is that a new race position for Haas? Haas with an overtake.
You can push.
Copy.
Come on, boys. Double overtake into the hairpin. Ah, almost. We're side by side. We'll get the DRS. And he's through. Beautiful.
Okay, nice work.
All right, we're 7th and 8th. What a recovery so far. It's not over yet, though. Mick is bearing down on Perez and Norris. I don't know if Oscar's got enough to pull away from Gasly. He might cling on to the DRS here. I'm out of battery again. I think I'm just about going to get safe. I think I am just safe. Mix onto the back. Okay, so harvest for a lap. Try and force the issue. We've got the fastest lap.
Charge on, charge on.
Copy.
Oscar's so close. I need to deploy him all the way through here. Try and get onto the back of this train before it reaches the DRS zone.
Copy.
Come on, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, the power of fresh tyres on this circuit cannot be overstated. I don't think Oscar's going to get the DRS this lap. I think I was just short. Side by side with the Red Bull, I've got the better traction. I've got the DRS. I'm going to make the run on Norris.
Very good.
Oscar did not get DRS, but he has got good acceleration out of that corner. Charge him up now.
Charge on.
Copy.
Ready to flip the switch on Mick. There we go, we've got the inside line and we've got the DRS, and now we can push. Mix up to 5th.
Last lap, last lap.
Alright, it's all on you, Oscar.
Keep this approach. Good job so far.
Extra point with the fastest lap, yes. It is an amazing recovery, Mr. Otto, I wholeheartedly agree. I just need Norris to drop out of DRS, which he has done. Oh, can we get Perez before the hairpin? And now we're going to get the run on Norris.
So we're P7.
Come on! Yes! P6. Woo!
HAAS with an overtake there.
I can't believe we fought that back to P5, P6
Nice work.
on the final lap. Woo! What a recovery. There's no way we could have done that with Oscar if we were using worn softs. We had to go with the new mediums.
No overtake.
Okay.
But there we go, 5th and 6th. What a fight back! Amazing result for HAAS in America.
Line.
A home race for them.
Yeah, that was great. Thank you.
We can take
Russell
a look
got the
now.
win as well.
And there we have it. Russell finishes in first place.
Look at the closeness of that finish.
That performance, there's no doubt that they deserve their spot at the top of the podium.
Could have been a double podium for Mercedes if Hamilton hadn't wrecked. Sainz came out of that with very lucky, managing to fight his way back up to 4th. Oh.
Checkered flag.
He's living the dream. Exceptional work from Mick Schumacher.
Turns out the earlier safety car helped me gain 1 extra point. No, I actually think the earlier safety car still cost us. I think we could have maybe got
This is a
4th
good
or
result for HAAS.
3rd.
More than enough to satisfy the whole team.
The whole team was absolutely
if we hadn't had
on
that
their
first
game
safety
today.
car and we'd been able to
The
pit on
result proves
schedule.
that.
and then
That's
still
right,
had
and they finished
the late
race
safety
weekend
car.
in third place in the constructor standings.
We're nearing the end of the season and it's time for some serious heat. Stay with us as Formula One moves to Mexico City.
Right, just goes to show anything can happen in Formula One. Mick Schumacher with the fastest lap, comfortably. Actually, no, not comfortably. Look how close it was. Oscar nearly stealing it from him. Just 25 thousandths of a second between them. So the driver's standings, Oscar gains some more points, closes the gap on Sergio Perez, but it's a gap that's a bit too big. I don't think we're going to sneak fourth in the Drivers' Championship. Mick does pull some points on Lewis, but that win for George gets him ominously close to the back of Mick. I think that's Mercedes' first win of the entire season. Oh no, it's the second win. Hamilton's got 1 win, 2 podiums. Russell with 1 win, 1 podium. Well, the podium being the win. 3 wins for Mick. Only 1 win for Oscar, but he is outperforming Mick in terms of points and consistency. In the Constructors, we lose more ground to both Ferrari and Red Bull. And we lose a little bit of ground to Mercedes. We are in a fight for third, and that's all we can achieve. It's mathematically impossible for us to finish above Red Bull or Ferrari, but we are definitely in a fight with Mercedes to hang on to third place. Alfa Romeo only pick up 2 points. McLaren pick up 7. A strong showing for them today. Alpine, not as effective as I thought they would be at this race. AlphaTauri is struggling still, but they've had a good return of points for the season. Aston Martin still only on 2 points. Williams still yet to score. We do get a new development point for Mick and for Oscar, but not for Logan. We pay out 70 grand in bonuses, 20 for Oscar, 50 for Mick. We fail on one of our guarantees, the qualifying position, because we didn't get both drivers into Q3. I'll have to remember about that for the next race, make sure I don't put that one and just put 1 in Q3. Sponsor base rate 3.3 mil gives us 3.6 at the end of the weekend. Right, is Mick willing to negotiate? He is. What did we offer him last time? Quite a bit, actually. We've got 2 bites at the cherry here. We only offered him 2 seasons, and that's probably why. Let's go with 3 seasons. He still wants more money. He's happy with that. He's happy with the bonus threshold. He just wants more than 4.25. This is that was our only chance. Okay, so let's go ahead and up this to 4.75. I don't really want to pay more than that. I mean, I could get Alonso for close to this. That'll be our final attempt to sign him. We do have a point to spend with Oscar. We need to work on the smoothness. Let's spend Mick's point as well. Let's improve his braking. Logan already has a point which we haven't allocated yet. Again, we shall... Actually, let's work on his braking as well. Right. Staff. Do we have any points for our staff? Simone Resta is still a few weeks away. Aaron has a point to spend. Put that to high speed. No points for any of our engineers. If we do a season 2, we'll be having a major overhaul of our staffing, because these 3 are just not good enough for a team that wants to challenge near the top of the table. Sad to say, We have 4.3 mil. It's not really enough to do anything. Still waiting on that last team hub upgrade. Nothing there that's worth doing. Actually, how long is it till the design center? 63. Oh, yeah, that's not going to come in, is it? Okay, so what about development? 13 days and 26 days to go on the research. Next Grand Prix is only in 4 days' time. Once again, we exceeded expectations. ATR period starts in a week's time, the final one of the season. And that is pretty much everything we can do, basically, I think. Let me just double check we've got enough car parts. I mean, we should have. Yeah, we're fine. So, there we go. We are set and ready for the next Mexican Grand Prix, which will be... When will that be? We'll save this till next Friday, because again, next Friday will be the real Mexican Grand Prix. So we'll be back with HAAS same time next week. Over the weekend, I will try and get some construction sim recorded, if I can break myself away from other games, this one in particular as well. And we'll be back with another stream on Monday as we pick up round 5 of our Williams season, where we head to Miami. So we'll be back at stateside again, just on the other side of the country. So thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's race. It's been a bit of a corker at the end. We managed to rescue some very, very good points from what looked like a bad situation. We got lucky with additional safety cars to negate the damage the first one did to us. And yeah, we're still looking like we can finish the season strong and hang on to third. It will be an interesting battle with Mercedes. So thank you all for watching. I will see you all again on Monday with Williams. Until then, bye for now.